Welcome to the Portland Culinary Podcast on Portland Culinary Radio. I'm Stephen Chalmers, your host. Super excited today. We're talking Stella tacos. I love their tacos. I've been to both locations, particularly been to the location out on Division and 30th, right near Imperial Bottle Shop. Alex and Sean do a great job there, and I've gone over and gotten your tacos and taken them over. Joining me today is Matt Fields, co-founder and head chef at Stella Taco. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning. Excited to be here.
I'm thrilled to be here. Okay, let's get right into it. What makes for a good taco?
Honestly, starting out with the tortilla, you got to have a good tortilla to have a good taco.
What's your line? I've heard you say before about the tortilla and the trip.
The tortilla is kind of like the car. If the car sucks, the trip's going to suck.
I love it. And you guys actually make your own tortillas.
We do for the flour tortilla.
Wow, that is impressive. Not everybody takes the time to do that.
It's a labor of love.
Okay, standard stuff that we do with Portland Culinary Podcast. So where were you born?
So I was born and raised in El Paso, Texas, most western city in Texas.
Okay, and where'd you go to high school?
Andrus High School.
And where's that at?
Also in El Paso, Texas.
And what was the mascot there?
They were the Eagles.
Eagles, okay. So what happened after high school?
After high school, I decided to move out to Phoenix and attend culinary school out there and just jump right into the cooking industry.
What made you, so you actually went to culinary school?
Yep.
What made you choose culinary school? Why that?
Honestly, I just really loved the feeling around cooking and feeding people.
And you just felt like that was a good prep. Are you glad you went to culinary school?
Looking back on it, absolutely, yeah.
Because I've talked about Oregon Culinary Institute. I wrote about them in my first book because a lot of food court owners would say, should I go to culinary school? And if my son, Zach, was going to open a food court, I'd say, heck yes, go to culinary school. Because you learn some stuff shorthand much quicker than may take you 10 years to learn it on the line. Whereas culinary school, you get a foundation then where you apply the stuff you learn when you're on the line. That's my opinion. Is that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the culinary school definitely provides the base building blocks for people to improve upon, and it's just kind of a fast track way as opposed to learning on the job technique, So yeah, I definitely am a big fan of, culinary institutes, both small and local, like OCI. They're amazing people there. And even some of the bigger ones, like CIA, Culinary Institute of America.
My friend Rodney went there.
Yeah, it also, I feel like, shows the dedication of what you set out to do,
So what was your first job after culinary school?
The first job that I had after culinary school was Raw Sushi Bar.
Where?
Raw Sushi Bar was located in Phoenix, Arizona.
Is that even legal? There's no ocean there. You know that, right?
Probably paying people under the table. It's hard to say, but it was quite the experience.
Yeah, I love me some good sushi. My friend Alex owns Wasabi Sushi here in Portland, and he does a fantastic job. He has a sushi donut that will blow your mind that is just fantastic. Alex is a great guy, wonderful food. Okay, so your first job was Raw Sushi. Where did your cooking journey actually begin? What's your first cooking memory?
Definitely when I was a very young child, cooking donuts with my grandma, with the family.
Nice. What kind of donuts did you make?
We just did old-fashioned yeast-risen donuts.
Okay.
We'd roll them out on the kitchen table and fry them in a cast-iron skillet and hit them with powdered sugar at the end.
I bet that was just like tasting love and comfort in a bite.
I didn't know those things could exist until that moment, as far as just such a holy experience.
When did you fall in love with cooking?
At that very moment, eating that donut coming straight out of the cast-iron skillet.
Oh, that is fantastic. I absolutely love it. Okay, so when did you open Stella Taco?
So our first location in Alberta, 30th in Alberta, opened up in August 2014.
Okay, so coming up on 4 years this August.
Yep.
Nice, I love it. Okay, so when did you come to Portland?
I migrated to Portland, Oregon in 2012.
And what brought you here?
I followed Nick's.
Lots of poor saps come to Portland following a guy or a girl.
Yeah, I am definitely one of those poor saps.
And the relationship's gone, but you stayed in Portland.
I did, I fell in love with the city more so than her.
And does Portland feel like home now?
It does. This is the longest I've ever lived in any state or city here in Portland, Oregon, and I just absolutely love it.
Okay, now you opened up a Stella Taco with a couple partners, Ian and Becky.
Yep, Ian and Becky Atkins.
And where did you guys meet?
We met about 7 years ago down in El Paso, Texas, just working in restaurants.
Okay, so about 2010.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we got a lot of math going on in my head, but when did you first thinking, hey, I want to have a restaurant?
Honestly, after about a year and a half, when I was about 20, working in the kitchen, it was just like, hey, I think I should own my own restaurant at some point in my adult life.
Awesome. Any reasons why you thought, oh yeah, I should have a restaurant?
So the main reason was definitely, the idea of nobody's going to pay you as good as you're going to pay yourself. So
That works. Okay, so you're young, you're starting out, you're thinking, I'd love to have a restaurant someday. 2010, you meet Ian and Becky. When did you start thinking I should open a restaurant with them?
honestly, it wasn't until about 2012, 2013, when I left El Paso, I left them to come up here and started cooking. And I was working at Little Bird Bistro, an amazing place downtown.
Oh,
And,
fantastic food.
Yeah, an amazing family there too. And as I was cooking there in my off time, I just started writing up business plans left and right and just started shooting them over to them to see what they thought. And then one thing led to another.
And then you lured them here.
Yeah, so they actually lived here back in 2001, but left after about a year, 2 years. And then when they heard that I was coming up to Portland, they were like, oh, it's an amazing place. You're going to love it. And so I did. And when the opportunity came up for potentially starting a business up here, I was like, hey, you guys want to come back to move back to Portland? And they were absolutely. So that was November 2013. And then, the wheel started.
So
rolling.
November 2013, and by August 14, you have the first Stella Taco in Alberta open.
Yep.
So you were moving.
We hit the ground running, yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay, so I don't know if you're aware of this, but partnerships don't work.
A lot of them seem to have, hard times for sure.
Yeah, but your guys' partnership works.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you like each other? You get along?
Yeah, we definitely consider each other family at this point.
Okay, so what makes your guys' partnership work?
I definitely feel that, understanding all of our strengths and weaknesses, that's one of the biggest keys for us.
Yeah, it's so often in professional relationships, even in personal relationships, to overlook the strength and let the weakness just become a burr in the saddle that gets bigger and bigger and bigger, like the princess and the pea. It just, and you've seen it with people, know. And so you guys just, weaknesses are fine. You accept the weaknesses, and everyone excels in their strengths.
Yeah, absolutely. And anything that kind of comes down to, weak points for one or the other, for either of us, all of us rally behind each other to pull through and do what we got to do to make the ends meet and be successful and, provide the community with awesome tacos.
So relationally, you guys like each other.
Absolutely.
You support each other.
Yep.
And then you celebrate your strengths. So it's like that old saying, get the right people on the bus, then get them in the right seat.
Correct.
I like that.
I love that saying.
Okay, so 2014, you open first Stella Taco in Alberta, and right from the gun, just like a gunshot, like a cannonball, boom, instant success?
Not quite. The first 3 days were extremely busy. As a matter of fact, I think we sold out of tortillas very early on the first and third day because I was just not prepared for what had happened as much as I thought I was. And the first 3 to 5, maybe 6 months was definitely a little strenuous for us. Just the learning curve on what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it versus what the community was really interested in and what they wanted to back. So just a lot of trial and error for those first 3 to 6 months. Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm hearing. Tell me if I'm hearing correct. First 3 days were fantastic. Then the next first 3 to 6 months kind of sucked.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you had to kind of make some adjustments and make some changes and then find a rhythm that works for you guys.
Exactly. Honing in on the idea of consistency, what the product is, what we want to present, how we want to present it, and, the price point.
I just published a Portland beer podcast episode with the guys from Crafting a Strategy, 8 strategy successful breweries. And, we did 4 parts, really niche-y. A brewery wants to sell some food, 4 things they can do. And a brewery, how can they successfully partner with their distributor? So really niche stuff, but breweries, they're businesses. They got to be run like a business. Yeah. And one of the 4 strategies for food was give people what they want. How important has that been to your journey?
Tremendous. We wouldn't be here talking with you awesome gentlemen today had we not paid attention to, what the community and what the clientele wanted.
Okay, so your style, it's kind of like a Texas street food with Portland flair, roughly. Is that about right?
Yeah, definitely. I think, rooted in, as much as I dislike the term Tex-Mex, definitely rooted in a lot of Tex-Mex style cuisine, but, just focused on Pacific Northwest product and ideology as far as, local, sustainable, and just working with local people.
Okay, so let's talk through your menu because your food is fantastic. I've eaten through the whole menu a number of times. So let's start with your breakfast tacos. What the heck, breakfast tacos? They're so good.
Yeah, no, definitely. So being that Tex-Mex style, Austin inspired, breakfast tacos in Austin, Texas are served all day, every day at 1,000,001 places. You can get a pretty decent breakfast taco actually at 7-Eleven, which is mind-blowing. But yeah, so in honor and ode to that, we do breakfast tacos all day, every day at Stella Taco.
So some of my favorites, I love the bacon and egg. I love it. You got your Stella mild and green onion. I love the barbacoa and egg. Scrambled eggs, your chopped beef, your green chili queso. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
You've got two vegetarian breakfast tacos, the bean and egg and the potato and egg. So great for the people that love vegetarian breakfast tacos.
Yeah, hominivores and vegans, vegetarians. We try
Presbyterians.
Pescatarians. Pescatarians, yes.
I just tease and call them Presbyterians. That's terrible, I know. Okay, so soft tacos or hard shell tacos? What's the right answer?
I'm soft shell all the way. I mean, crispy, or a hard shell definitely holds a good place in my heart because it's quick and easy. But soft shell taco, that still wins every time.
So do you have a couple favorite because you do amazing soft shell tacos? Do you have a couple favorites of the ones you guys make?
Yeah, absolutely. The one of my personal favorites, fried avocado taco. We batter and fry in like a rice flour maseca batter, so it keeps it nice and crispy. Fried fat, can't go wrong with that. And then served with a little bit of cabbage slaw with cashew ranch dressing and some cotija cheese. That can be vegan without the cheese, or vegetarian, just straight up. Pork Colorado tacos,
So wait, you have a fried avocado taco. Is that even? You were born in El Paso. Is that even legal to have a vegan taco when you're born in El Paso?
You definitely wouldn't find very many of them, that's for sure.
So that's Portland flair, and I love meat. I love bacon. It's fantastic, but your fried avocado taco is a beauty to behold. It is just absolutely phenomenal. Where did you get that idea?
Honestly, I've had fried avocado fries at a bar that were okay, but not rememberable. And just the idea of deep frying things. That's it's hard to mess that up.
Yeah, I love good vegan. I'm a casual vegan, so I often eat vegan at home. That's how come I don't weigh 400 pounds with all the food writing, eating I do. But man, your vegan food is absolutely phenomenal. So hats off. Okay, so now let's get to the pork Colorado taco you started talking about. Let's talk about that because that is phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely. Just pork stewed with a little bit of tomatoes and chilies, and we do this fun thing where we fry up basically like hash brown potatoes. So they're like little potato sticks, and they're super crunchy and have a really good salty, good flavor to it. And yeah, it's definitely not a traditional pork Colorado. Usually they used to do pork with chilies and tomatoes and potatoes all in the pot, and it's kind of like a porridge type of dish, and for taco purposes, it's nice just to do the pork and then have the crispy potatoes for some texture.
I love it, and I love your barbacoa tacos. Those are phenomenal.
Yes, big fan of barbacoa, beef barbacoa specifically for sure.
Yeah, those are really good. And then the other one I think that's pretty interesting, you have a vegan mole taco.
Yeah, so the mole sauce is actually one of my aunts who lived in Juarez, Mexico. So it's a very traditional peanut and ancho chili style mole sauce that we just mix in with some mushrooms that we roast on the flat top to get them kind of dried out and seasoned up, and then toss that in the mole. And that is also actually served with the crispy potatoes, which are It's hard to stop eating those. That's where I'll leave that.
That's right. And you also have you have your the mushrooms on there as well.
Yeah. So it's all mushrooms.
Yeah, mushrooms, mole, ancho, your crispy potatoes, green onions. It sounds fantastic. Okay, fish tacos. I grew up in Southern California. I have a lot of fish tacos in San Diego. How do yours stand up?
I definitely think I'm a big fan of them. We don't deep fry that one specifically just to keep, the fryer vegetarian friendly.
So it's grilled cod.
Yeah. So we throw it on a cast iron, like flat top, just to get it nice and crispy on both sides, and then serve that with a little honey pickled carrots and jicama slaw, I love jicama. It's just a beautiful, beautiful vegetable.
Yeah, a friend of mine, she makes Vivian Lee kimchi, and she does a watermelon jicama kimchi that is just phenomenal.
That sounds ridiculously amazing.
Okay, as someone who loves fish tacos, eating lots of them, your fish tacos are fantastic. Ooh. I just have to tell you, they work, they rock. Okay, so you got, for those awful people, the rebellious people, you do have the hard crispy tacos. Yeah. Those are really, really good. You got a lot of different options there. You got your quesadillas. You make your own sauces, don't you?
We do, all house made. And as we are currently speaking, we're trying to get those into sellable fashion at the taco shops themselves.
So I could buy a bottle of Stella taco sauce.
You could buy a bottle of the Stella mild, spicy, or XXX. Yeah.
Okay, so the mild, I've loved that. I love the spicy. Talk to me about the XXX. My girlfriend, she likes to sweat when she eats. I cannot do that. I'm a wimp. But she would love the XXX. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so that one's basically just all pepper sauce. We call it the XXX because it's 3 peppers. Some of the spicier ones, the jalapenos, serranos, and habaneros. And we just kind of melt that all down together with a little bit of garlic and some lime juice to give it some acidity. And yeah, it's just got a lot of nose heat, a lot of throat heat, and it'll definitely keep you from getting sick during the cold months for sure.
Oh, that's funny. I like that. Okay, and then one of the cool things is that you make your own horchata. We do,
house-made horchata, yeah.
That's not everybody does that.
It's all the labor of love.
And then I can get beer, I can get wine, I can get spirits. You've got all of it there?
Yep. So we do kind of not necessarily a full bar, but we have beer, wine, and margaritas for sure. We do frozen and shaken margaritas. So I'm a big fan of the frozen margarita.
Frozen margarita is just a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have some seasonal frozen margaritas too.
Yeah, I've had last summer I had a number of your seasonal margaritas. Spent some time in Alberta for a project, and I would just go in and those were fantastic. And I have to give hats off. Strawberry basil, that just works. And your strawberry basil Rita, that's just fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the fun ones, and get a little bit of fresh with the fruit and herbiness from the basil. It's really tasty.
All right, so now I'm going to have to go to, for the purpose of work, of course, go to Stella Taco, have some tacos, take some photos. So I have some recent photos of Stella Taco. I have lots of photos, but recent Stella Taco photos that I can put with the article that'll go with the podcast. Does that sound like a good choice?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we could definitely help each other out on that for sure.
You make them all, buy them, and eat them. I think that's fantastic.
There you go.
All right, well, Matt has been fantastic. I love Stella Taco. I'm a huge fan. Love what you do. For those who don't know, where are your 2 locations?
So we have 2 locations, one in the northeast off of 30th in Alberta and one in the southeast off of 30th and Division.
And so the 30th and Alberta one is right across from...
30th and Alberta is right across from the Alberta Rose Theatre, and the one on 30th and Division is in the same complex as Imperial Bottle Shop, as well as Bollywood Theatre.
Yes, exactly.
And Ebb and Bean. Just a lot of really great neighbors there.
Yeah, and Imperial Bottle Shop, they encourage people to bring in food so people can buy their tacos from you. If they're craft beer fans and they're having really good craft beer, which they always do at Imperial,
they do.
They can grab their tacos, walk down the street, sit there, have a great craft beer with some fantastic craft tacos.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the Portland Culinary Podcast. It was awesome to hear a story. I love what you do. Tacos are fantastic here in Portland. Again, what was your favorite taco?
Fried avocado.
Fried avocado.
Yeah, always.
Yeah. I don't even know we should publish that because people in El Paso are going to riot. No.
They might.
They might. No, it's fantastic. All right. Well, cheers.
Yeah. Thanks again.